Hello, world. How y'all doing? First, my apologies for not going live to do live readings. Like I said, I really have to find the time on a Saturday or any day that I plan to do it to like really be in the zone to do that. And I'm getting around. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Anyway, um, I had to get me some McDonald's French fries. I got. Where my glasses at? Mm, There we go. Um, y'all know what it is. And again, I didn't. I wanted to go live yesterday, but ended up not having the time. So, like I said, for now, it's kind of unpredictable. But I'm gonna try to find a routine. I'm sorry for eating, but bitch, I'm hungry. And my McDonald's fries is hot. Don't you hate when you get McDonald's fries and they be cold? You might as well not. You might as well not give me nothing. If the fries ain't hot, why even bother? Sometimes that's all I get from McDonald's, is just the fries. Mm, 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 mm. Um, the vibes have been interesting all week. Very interesting vibes. Where do I want to start? Uh, what all has been going on? There was a couple things I want to talk about. Let me see. Well, for the most part, people are still buzzing about Dave Chappelle. Has the LGBT community still in the uproar? And the sad part is that people still aren't willing to listen and effectively communicate how people are feeling. And it's such a sensitive topic that people should be able to come together and sit down and communicate. But you know, like I said, people still don't want to. At the end of the day, you don't have to agree with Dave Chappelle, but respect his right to say, to give his commentary. And I get, you know, a lot of the old school comedians used to say a lot of fucked up shit. That was a different time then. I'm not justifying anything, but everybody has said something that in today's world, somebody will find it offensive and want to cancel you or whatever. So I really don't, again, it's always like the selective outrage for me. Because a lot of these comedians and a lot of these actors and actresses, not even just comedians, but the industry period has a long history of putting content that's harmful, that's um that exploits certain groups, racist. That has been going on for a long time. And what Dave Chappelle is trying to say is the LGBT community has been so quick to get help and to move their cause forward. Why is that when you still have Black people still getting, harmed by the police, still dealing with systemic issues? And everybody wants to make it seem like, oh, well, you don't understand, the LGBT community has gone through this. So has Black people. And again, it's like I said, not everybody wants their sexual orientation known. Not everybody wants to wear rainbow t-shirts and shit. Not everybody wants to hang out at the gay clubs. Like, some people just want to live their lives. They don't want that to be the defining thing about them. And I respect people that do. Don't get me wrong. I respect the people that want to wear the rainbow t-shirts and that do hang out at the gay clubs. Like, if that's what you want to do too, but understand that that's not how everybody lives their life, and that is nobody's business. And it's for me, what I find hypocritical about the LGBT community is that they've gotten so much help and so much momentum, but like, close the door behind them. Like, they're not even bothering to help out with, like, or use their platform to help out in really anybody else. But like, certain ones are like helping out Black people. But it's like, what I need for y'all gay people to understand is, like, when it comes to this racism shit, white people love y'all on your fucking back. And they got a problem when you standing up on your fucking feet. And y'all need to identify that shit and start speaking out on it. It's cool when you on your back. It's cool when you bent the fuck over. But as soon as you standing on your feet, demanding respect for every other identity that you have, all of a sudden it's a fucking problem. That's what Dave Chappelle is trying to fucking say. And y'all so in y'all feelings that y'all are missing the fucking point. And at the end of the day, like, at this point, what I'm really tired of is, you know, everybody having to like pick like one identity, when at the end of the day, like I said, being Black is dangerous all over the fucking world. Focus on human rights instead of focusing on only helping people because they choose to be honest about and open about who they choose to have sex with. Like I said, there are other identities. We can help. Like I said, it's not about not helping, or, saying that gay people shouldn't be out here protesting stuff like that. Yeah. But y'all gotta respect other people's rights too. Stop talking about y'all niggas, to be honest. Like I said, shout out to everybody that don't need their ass kissed based on who they having sex with. Shout out to y'all. Y'all gay niggas be extra and selfish and hypocritical. But anyway. What else? But I don't know. I just feel like it all ties in. And the reason, like I said, and the reason why that's a hard point for a lot of straight men, because, and not that women don't care, but, and not even to break it down in like men or women, but what I need for a lot of the Black LGBT community and just the LGBT community at large to understand is that a lot of the hate and violence that y'all experience is at the hands of the church. Let's make that clear. And I've said this before, but y'all need to direct all that anger. Y'all need to direct y'all protest to the fucking church. The church would be the ones to turn y'all out and to turn around and say y'all going to hell, harm you, murder you, do all kind of horrible shit. Try to clean up the fucking trail. And I honestly think that that's connected to the main reason why a lot of times we really don't even hear the LGBT community even speak out on, well, at least not too many, the way it should be addressed, is the amount of abuse for young children. And yeah, this is like, y'all are focusing, like, trying to get these kids to figure out whether, they're male or female. Like, just keep them safe. Just keep them fucking safe. Why y'all worried about that? Kids is getting snatched and sold and harmed, and y'all worried about if they know if they're male or fucking female or not? They're young, they're babies. Let them focus on being a fucking kid. It's not safe for young kids out here, and it never has been. Why are y'all not worried about that? I don't know. It's a lot of weird vibes coming from the LGBT community, and it has to be addressed because I know it's not everybody, especially Black LGBT community. I know it's not a lot of y'all, but a lot of y'all again want access and the same privileges. And then you close the door behind you. It's too real out here for that. And it just like it's really annoying that these conversations and in this day and age still even need to fucking happen. It's like, and again, there wouldn't be such a divide if everybody was just fucking taken care of. That's like the bullshit of all bullshits. It's like it's 2021 and people are still out here asking to not get harmed. You know, Black people are still trying to get the money that we're owed. Like, and people are still out here, you know, man. And again, whether you agree or not, it's not about agreeing. We're not going to agree on everything. But if we put down some of the other bullshit and just recognize the fact that people need their basic survival needs met, let's start there before we focus on who's having sex with who. Let's focus on people's human rights. Let's start there instead of picking and choosing which groups get help and which ones don't. Because this shit is fucking petty at this point. But anyway, like I said, weird vibes around this whole LGBT movement. Weird vibes around them trying to cancel Dave Chappelle and protesting and shit like that. Like I said, I respect people's right to protest. I do. But again, I don't think Dave said nothing that warrants y'all trying to ride and protest him. Like I said, it's just pettiness at this point. It's just pettiness. Like I said, everybody, especially white people, want to come at you about what gay people have gone through. Again, if you can focus on one group suffering and you ignore everybody else, then I call foul on your movement. I call bogus. Y'all on fraud. Y'all on fraud. And I said, we need to get together. We need to get it together. Because like I said, it's just, and for me, I get it. I get that things change. And, you know, I'm don't get me wrong, I'm all for progress. But a lot of people need to understand, like, again, a lot of people are trying to hide being oppressive under progress. So y'all can debate about that all you want to, but that's what's happening. I'm so glad I got these fries. I'm so glad it's Sunday. Sunday is usually less people online, which is good. Like I said, I don't feel like doing any readings tonight. So, but I don't want to go into too much of a rant about that. I've talked about that enough. But the vibes are definitely still out here. Like I said, people are still buzzing and going in. But another thing to that, though, and in human rights activism, sorry, y'all got a frat too. My favorite thing is fries and a frat from McDonald's. I mean, no better than that. What the fuck was I saying? Um, yeah, like I said, there's still a lot of sensitivity and issues around that area. I understand people want to protest, but like I said, worry about making sure people's human rights are met. But what else? And I go through, I'm on YouTube and I'm going through looking. And what is going on with this Brian Dirty Laundry situation? Because I haven't had a chance to really like look into or do my research about it. But I've listened to other bloggers say it's esoteric and it's a cult issue going on. Which makes sense given like some of the other uh, things that people have like, put online about, what's going on. I'm like, oh, okay. But like I said, I need to really research it a little bit more. Oh, I definitely agree. I definitely feel like it is something occult to it, but I also feel like um, I don't know. Like I have to look, but I want to see because I saw some of the footage of when they were pulled over, and I don't know. It's just bad vibes, And this is another thing, especially, and I've seen people. Um, uh, yeah, there are questions that you can ask here, but let it. Hopefully, it'll be related to the vibes that I'm talking about, and when I'm doing the vibe lives, like jump in with like clarifying questions, or even if you know stuff about something that I'm bringing up, yeah, but during lives, like, don't ask me if your girlfriend or boyfriend is going to come back to you. Like, hit me up on a separate, like a whole other time if you want to know that. I hate when people do that. Like, which is why a lot of times I don't even show comments because the only thing people want to know is like I'm talking about real life stuff, like real world stuff, and people want to jump on here like, is my girlfriend coming back to me? Is my boyfriend coming back to me? I don't know. Like, I'm talking about world events. I'm talking about the vibes in the air, and I'm like, help me out. Like, if you know stuff about, like I said, the Brian Dirty Laundry case and that girl that was missing, like, help me flesh it out. Like, if you got, but don't ask me for like don't ask personal questions about your life here. Like I said, you can, but you got to hit me up somewhere else if you want to, get detailed issues about those things. But yeah, with I don't know, this really feels it does feel cultish, and not just occult but cult, like 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 Brian may have been a part of some like cult, some kind of, or even the girl, I don't even remember what her fucking name is, but like, I don't know, either he was or she was involved in some kind of um cult. That's the vibe that I'm getting, cult vibes. Like somebody was a part of something and it just, who knows where it went to. And but like I said, I have to do more research on what was going on. And like I said, the footage when that girl got pulled over, well, when they both got pulled over, the cam footage or whatever, I don't know, it all looks suspect. It all looks suspect. And I say that all the time. When you see something on the news, not everything is what it appears to be. When you see things on social media, not everything is, what it might appear to be. And that's why I'm big on like, what are the vibes, like, because like you never know what's really going on, and a lot of times people aren't going to put out there what the truth is. But I definitely feel like they were a part of some kind of cult and something went left. And that's why Also, too, like, stay out of groups. And I remember back in the day, and I would really listen to a lot of Bobby Hemmett, and Bobby Hemmett would always say, stay out of groups, and now that I'm older, I definitely get why uh he said the things that he said. Like, there are a lot of like really weirdo people out here, a lot of, sick people out here. And unfortunately, that's a lot of times the people that other people like to follow. A lot of times these people are mentally ill, but mentally ill people can be charismatic. Mentally ill people, especially if somebody is, just because you can still be spiritual and have gifts and ability and be sick in your mind. And I need for people to understand that, especially any baby occultists or baby witches that may be following me. Y'all really need to understand that. Like, just because somebody has a large following and they say certain things and it sounds on point, or they have certain abilities, and they do, but you still have to, like, is this person still, well mentally? Even in the church, that's an issue there too. Like, whether it's the church or any of these groups where people are claimed to be spiritual and they meet up, whether it's the Christian church, whatever, really, like, suss out like who these people are, and don't go, oh, well, they're this, and oh, and make a lot of times people make excuses for these type of people. You can be wealthy and be mentally ill. You can be spiritual and be mentally ill. And this is what I need for people to, like I said, really understand. And when you're in, when you're a part of something, especially when it's a spiritual community, there's a lot of tricks and fuckery in spiritual communities, in other communities too, but mainly the spiritual community, because somebody can be mentally ill and disguise it as being spiritual, and have people believe in all kind of foolishness. Like, does this person do like normal healthy things? Because nobody is spiritual 100% of the time. If you're a part of some kind of spiritual group, whether it's the church or whatever it is, a coven, a house, whatever it is, do the spiritual leaders make it seem like they're always like in some kind of, like, always spiritual, always connected to the spirits? Like, that's not realistic. Check these people's behavior, and don't go in it thinking, well, you saw this person do something, spiritual, and then somebody was healed, and like, no, I witnessed it myself. Okay, but this person still might be mentally ill. I don't care what you witnessed for yourself. Just because you witnessed something, or you witnessed a miracle, or somebody did magic and it worked, still does not mean that this person is okay. This is what I need y'all newbies to understand. Check the vibes on people instead of getting caught up in trickery. Check people's vibes, check people's behavior. Like I said, you should be able to, you know, talk to somebody on a regular, and they're regular, and they have regular conversation, and they're always on some, oh wait, I have to hear from the spirit. Wait, the spirits are talking to me. Wait a minute. Like, no, you should be able to just have a regular conversation with somebody. And these leaders and these people in these groups, or whatever, should be accessible. If they make it seem like there's something different than you might be a part of something that you don't want to be a part of. If they make it seem like, they came from some other planet, or, you know, just like weirdo behavior, or I don't do this, or just like these weird things they try to make you do to make it seem like they're somehow more spiritually connected, or they hear from spiritual entities and you don't. It's like, yeah, different people may hear from the spirit in different ways, but we all do. Like I said, be careful out there. It's like I said, when you see this girl missing, and I know, people are focused on, how media pays more attention to white women than they do other people. And don't get me wrong, that's true. That's true. But the point that I'm trying to make is for people in these weird groups, these weird spiritual groups, or these churches run by weird people, please be very careful. Because, like I said, people are weird and people are crazy out here, and God only knows what happened to that girl. And I don't, to be honest, I don't think that I think they both got killed. I don't think he killed her. I think somebody killed that girl and then killed him. Now, who, what, when, where, what, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't had the chance to like really read. And I could be wrong because, like I said, I haven't researched it. I haven't really like looked into it or anything like that. But those are just my vibes. Like I said, I gotta, if I look into it and I feel differently, I'll come back and say so. But that's just my vibes. Like, please be very careful out here when it comes to, being a part of spirituality, and because people like to jump on trends, and it happens. It comes in ebbs and flows. Like I remember when I was little, like seeing my aunt had like this back in the day. We used to have like these neon posters and neon paintings with people with afros and in the zodiac wheel, and it was like a real spiritual vibe, especially like in the 70s. It kind of phased out by the time the 80s was, like, I would say the early 80s, it kind of fizzled out. But like I said, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. And being from Philly, like Philly is one of those towns where the vibes are always spiritual. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at like Erica Badu's early career, and you remember her like wearing like, having a certain style of dress, and since like that was such a Philly girl thing. like, like you got Philly girls that's like hood girls, and then you also have like the Black Power Philly girls. It's like it's so much. Even though Philly is a small town, it's still a lot of like diverse culture here. But that was very much a vibe that Philly has always been on, a spiritual vibe. Like I said, it comes and goes. It comes and its ebbs and its flows. But that vibe has always, been it's a steady thing for people that are really in it. For people that aren't really in it, it's a trend that people hop on as it ebbs and it flows. But wherever you may find yourself, like if you like to, be a part of something just because it's a trend, be careful, because a lot of times you guys are the ones that end up um in trouble, because like I said, it's really not your thing. It's just like a wave. It's just a wave you're riding. And I ain't judging nobody, but I'm saying be careful. That's why I talk the way that I do. And it's your delivery. Okay. And when you end up like this little white girl that was missing, then you would hope that somebody like me would talk some fucking sense into you. That's what annoys me when people make it seem like it's something wrong with my delivery, or you're not nice enough. Fuck being nice. Nice sometimes can be a trick. Sometimes just because somebody's nice, the more nice people are, like the more they might be trying to, you know, take advantage of you. Why everybody got to be fucking nice? If you're asleep and your house is on fire, and you knocked out and you really really sleep, would you want somebody? Excuse me, could you wake up? Excuse me, excuse me. No, you want somebody? Get up, bitch. Get the fuck up. Wake up. That's what you're getting from me. Shit is on fire, and I'm not going to say, excuse me. Could you wake up, please? Could you wake up, please? Excuse me. I'm not doing that. Bitch, wake up. Smoke everywhere. Everything's on fire. Get the fuck up. I'll talk nice to you later. We got this shit that's real. It's real out here right now. And everything to be fucking nice. Sometimes you got it. Sometimes somebody has to talk to you in that way. Like I said, to get you to wake up. Thank God for my grandmother for having a real tongue, for having, for not thinking that she had to always, think about my feelings. It's a lot of stuff that I would never have received. It's a lot of learning and a lot of growing that I would have never done had my grandmother thought, like, really think she had to be nice about everything. That's a hindrance to some people. But I say that to say be careful in these spiritual streets. It's real out here. Okay. Watch out for, and especially like I said, if you're a part of any groups, religious or spiritual, be careful out here and be safe out here because it is definitely real. And like I said, I at some point I'll look into this case and see, like I said, if I get any other vibes, but those are the vibes. What else has been going on in these streets, bitch? Alec Baldwin, man. Alec Baldwin. I don't know, man. It's some real strong vibes going like right there. And here's the thing. It, that is a reversal. Like that is a serious reversal of energy. Like I said, I don't know. I'm only speculating here. I'm only going by my vibes, but that usually when and that shouldn't be happening. Let's just start here. Like movies have had so much CGI and shit over the years that people die accidentally from gunfire, from prop guns on movie sets is to me like they keep saying that as an excuse, but at this point in 2021, we know the deal with the industry. So let's stop pretending. Let's stop pretending. But I don't know. That's a reversal. No, the reason why I say reversal because everybody brings up the fact that it's happened before, right? And usually when this happened, not that it's like it happens all the time, but it has happened before. And usually when this happens, it's the actors. And then this time, it wasn't an actor, it was somebody behind the scenes. Interesting. And that's reversal. And I don't know if somebody was out to kill him and he got the drop and reversed it. That's what I'm picking up. And it's not funny. I laugh because I just have a fucked up sense of humor and it helps me cope with shit. I'm not making light. But that's like, I don't know. That's the vibe that I get. Like somebody was trying to kill him. He got the drop and reversed it. It was like, y'all, and not me. That's what I mean by a reversal. Because like I said, it's normally the actor, the people behind the scenes. Like I said, you know, and people are saying, like uh people weren't being paid right and were working hours that they shouldn't be working. And like people are speculating a lot about, things going on behind the scenes. But whether it was low budget or and people saying that, but Alec Baldwin isn't like a low budget actor, you know? He's not a low budget actor. I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Did I miss something? I don't remember Alec Baldwin being a low budget actor. I could be wrong, but help me out. Help me out. But I just really feel like that was an attempt on his life that he was able to, like I said, turn around. And it's interesting too because that movie is a Western. All kind of gunfire, right? It's a shoot 'em up movie. Shoot 'em up movie. Shoot 'em up movies. During the gunfight, we fell in love. Oh, I met my baby at the bang bang. Shoot 'em up movies, yeah. Hey, what y'all know about the deal? Ooh, that's my shit right there. A shoot 'em up movie. Interesting. Everybody got a gun. Everybody's shooting. And then somehow, I don't know. Thank you. Thank you. But it's a Western. Like they're filming a Western. It's a shoot 'em up movie. The deal. I don't know. Maybe it was a love triangle. Who knows? But that was an attempt on somebody's life. Like I said, in 2021, and their CGI. And like when did like, you really need for there to be a real gun? Like I've never watched, and I love action movies. The more action, the more explosions there are, like the happier that I am. And I've never watched a movie where there was a lot of gunfire and like zeroed in on the weapon. I'm like, oh, that's a fake gun for real. Like, no, you're just seeing people get shot. Like it's a part of the entertainment value of the movie. Like, so why in 2021 are there still real guns circulating on these movie sets? Um, Not live readings tonight. Um, Not live readings tonight. It's like I said, if you guys want to, comment on what I'm saying and comment on the vibes, then like I said, we can go in on it together. But not tonight. I'll let you guys know when I actually do a live where I'm like doing readings. But for now, I'm just talking about the vibes of the week. I don't know. You're welcome, Angel. Um, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. Yes, isn't the Alec Baldwin case crazy? But Angel, I'm not doing those kinds of live readings, but um, I will soon, and I'll let you guys know. But yes, this Alec Baldwin case is very interesting. Lakshmi, what do you like? What are you picking up? Because like I said, I feel like there might be, I don't know, like I really felt like that was an attempt on Alec Baldwin's life, and somehow he figured it out, and it just didn't go the way people wanted it to. Like I said, that's just what I'm feeling. For whatever reason, somebody wanted to take Alec Baldwin out, and like I said, he got the drop. He figured it out and reversed that shit. At least that's what, like I said, I don't know for sure, but you know, those are my vibes. I don't think that that man is guilty either. I don't think that Alec Baldwin, you know, is guilty. I don't. Like I said, if anything, I think that somebody was trying to take his life and it didn't work out the way somebody was hoping. Because, like I said, it never. When these things happen, when these so-called accidents happen, it's always the actor that gets it. But hopefully, and we may never know. Like I said, when it comes to the industry, like, there's so many people that are putting out, the story and putting out the narrative, and unless you were there, we really don't know. But that's my take on it. I really felt like that was an attempt on his life and he was able to reverse it. And good for him. Good for Alec. But you never know when it comes to the news, you never really know uh what really is going on. Like I said, all you can do is really like use your intuition. Um but speaking of misinformation in the news, being from Philly, I wanted to kind of talk about the the news circulating about how a woman was sexually assaulted. A woman was raped on the train. And being from Philly, and one, I'm from Philly. Two, I always have used public transportation. I've always used public transportation. Anybody that knows me personally knows that I've always used public transportation. And what I can tell you for sure is that yes, a lot of crazy shit does happen on the subway, on these trains. Yes, yes. But something like that, I don't know. Because the story, for one, even with the issues of like defunding the police or whatever, and this is something that is annoying when crime happens and people are like, see, you guys wanted to defund the police. What are you going to do now? There's no crime. If you're a cop, or if you're somebody who believes in, the safety of the people, and somebody says defund the police because black people are being killed, and you think that people experiencing crime is what they deserve, you're a fucked up individual. If you're a cop and you think that, you're a fucked up individual. If you're a cop and you think because Black people want you to stop killing us and we want the police defunded, that if crime happens, that that's what people get, you're a piece of fucking shit. Know that. You're a piece of shit. Just because people want to be safe from murderous fucking cops does not mean that when something happens, people shouldn't be helped. Also, I don't know. I don't know anybody anywhere. And don't get me wrong, I know that there are people that won't do anything. Those people are everywhere. There's always people that are like, I don't want to get involved. But there are also people that can't stand by and watch somebody be harmed. I wasn't there. I don't know. But like I said, I do know that a lot of crazy shit does happen on the subway. And I want to know, was that car, were there only men on that car and was she the only female? Because when it's a good mix of both sexes, when something happens, magically again, what you need to understand is that there are cameras on every train car. There are cameras on every train car, and the conductor can see what's going on. Now, I haven't been on the train in a long time. Well, I've been on the train recently, but I don't ride it every day like I used to. But when I was, there was a strong presence of police. You would always see officers. At least I would. Like I said, I would ride the train to and from work. And the only time I noticed that things would be happening, and let's just really get into the fact that a lot of men work for SEPTA. SEPTA is a male dominated company. A lot of the men that are the train conductors and the bus drivers are men. And I remember one time I was going to a protest. It was a women's protest on the Parkway. And thousands of women showed up that day. It was on the news and shit like that. And I remember on the way, I was on the L on my way there, and the men in SEPTA were really acting like they were offended that women were protesting any fucking thing. These men were breaking down the train, making it seem like really going out of their way to make it difficult for women to go and protest what was going on. And at that point in time, I think Trump was new in office, and just it was a few things going on at that point in time during that protest. But and I've been to quite a few protests, and which is something like I don't take pictures and because for me I feel like taking pictures during protests is like the same thing as like along the same lines of like when you take pictures giving people money, like, you know what I'm saying? It just now like that's not the time for like photo ops to me, like, you know what I'm saying? When it's protest mode, you're out there like really trying to make an impact, and that like I'm just not trying to make it. I'm not doing that. But I've been to so many protests that, like I said, I remember this one in particular. I don't remember what was going on, but like I said, trying to get there was hell because so many of the SEPTA drivers were like making it seem like the L train wasn't working, or oh, you got to get off the train. It happened. Like I said, I'm not that far. Like it didn't really take me too many stops to get to where I needed to go. And it was like every other stop, it was like, oh, train's broken, got to get off the train. And I'm like, and by the second time, I'm like, okay. Then the third time, I'm like, y'all have got to be fucking kidding me. The third time, it wasn't just like there was a delay. It was everybody had to get off the train and then wait for another train. And I'm like, why are there so many, issues with the train when it just happens to be on a day that women are out protesting? That I thought that was really funny. I thought that was strange. But I know that, like I said, when I'm just connecting dots here for people. Like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know what actually happened, but I find it really hard to believe. Really hard to believe. And now the story is changing. And somebody really does need to do something about, because and for people, it's not new. This shit ain't new. And there are many reasons why I take public transportation. And that's one of the reasons, because I know that there's so many people that have their children on the trains going back and forth to school. And for me personally, when I know that I'm going back and forth to work, why separate myself when I can be on the train and be that and be that person that if something is happening, other people might not feel comfortable jumping in it. But if you're that type of person, you should be riding the train. That's what, like I said, there are many reasons why I take public transportation, and this is one of the reasons. I know it's women out here that got their babies on the train, and all they can do is just pray for them before they put them on a train. Young girls out here, I have seen young girls out here have men say stuff to them, and this is and like I said, a lot of people like to be fake shocked about every fucking thing, but won't do anything in real time about the shit that y'all act so fake shocked about. And it's so many times I've talked to people and everybody's like ultra shocked and like want to clown me because I don't have a car. But then when stuff like this happens, they're like, oh my God, what is going on in the city? Get on the fucking train and find out. Start taking public transportation. Like, get in these trenches, get in these fucking streets and find the fuck out. If y'all really think that this shit was real, every man in the city should be out in the streets protesting. Every man in the city should be raising fucking hell. This is the shit that gets on my nerves. If you're not going to be about that life, shut the fuck up. Like, it's so annoying. Like, this is the shit they do. They throw these things out here in the media to see where the public is, and ain't nobody do shit but be fake fucking shocked. It been real on these subways. Do yourself a favor. Go to Google and type in sexual assault on subway and see what all comes up. See the plethora of articles. See the copious articles on sexual assault in subways from here to New York and wherever else there's a fucking subway system. Shit been happening. Women been catching hell on the fucking subway. What else is new? And if it's shocking and you think it's horrible, do something about it. I said that's why I didn't. I'm not going to share. I didn't share the article because again, I don't really know what's going on. 1 minute the man had one name, and then they the other day, I think it was yesterday, they had an article where they have the man in handcuffs and his name is completely different than who they said he was when it first happened. Sketchy. It's also sketchy. And don't get me wrong, I do know that women get assaulted on the trains. I do know that. But something is off about this story. Something's off. Especially the fact that they're saying that a woman was sexually assaulted for 8 fucking minutes and nobody did anything. I find that hard to believe. Something's up with that. I don't, like I said, the man's name changed. He don't even look the same. Like, and again, like there's cameras on every train and the conductors can see. Like I said, I've always been on public transportation. I have been on the train where shootings have happened and something happens and those conductors can stop the train and call the cops if the cops are not already on there. I have seen the cops chase people. I've seen them stop the train to get people off that may have committed a crime at some other stop, and they know that they're on the train and they stop the train. Nobody stopped the train. 8 minutes and nobody stopped anything. And it wasn't underground. It'd be different. It was underground. By the time it was out of the subway is where it was, and people can see. Like, it's not like, like I said, it was underground. This train, people can see. People on the platforms, you can see. It don't add up to me. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And if it did happen, and ain't nobody out, men should be in the streets. The city should be, man. For the simple fact that nobody that worked at SEPTA did anything should have people lined up at fucking SEPTA offices and demanding an explanation as to why whoever was driving that train didn't stop the train. There are buttons on these trains too. So that way, even if you don't feel like intervening, there's a button that you can push on every fucking train that contacts people in an emergency on the trains and on the platforms. So everybody's fucking wrong, and something needs to be done. If that really happened, if some woman got sexually assaulted for 8 fucking minutes and nobody did anything, and there's cameras everywhere, and people claiming, and so-called people claiming that somebody filmed it, there's a lot there that I don't think people are unpacking. Women should be unpacking this, and the men that love us should have a problem with that, instead of just being fake shocked and saying, "Oh my God, can you believe it been real on these fucking subways? Why are y'all just now acting like this happens?" And oh my God, I just cannot believe. Oh, I can't. I can. It's real out here. I've been saying it. It's real out here, and like I said, and that's the reason why I take public transportation. If you heard about this, and like I said, you don't feel the need to make it your business to, and again, a lot of y'all could, y'all, a lot of you, and it would save you money any fucking way. I want to challenge y'all, if you're from Philly or if you're somewhere where there's trains and stuff like that, instead of driving to work, especially if you claim you're about, because a lot of people that bring up these issues, and they say, well, what they wouldn't do, and it wouldn't have happened to them, and I would have did this, and I would have hurt somebody. Well, then how about you stop driving to work, and you get on the subway, and you try to be there and protect the kids and the women that ride these subway trains every day. No, nobody's gonna do that. Okay. What happened to the vigilante groups, the angels, whatever they used to be called in New York and Philly? What happened to them? Because like I said, if anybody remembers in the 80s, the subway system, like I said, it's real underground. Know that. Know that. And I was under the impression that it had got better. To be honest, compared to the shit that I've seen in the 80s, I thought it was better. I'm that the only thing that shocked me was I was like, really? I really thought we had got past this. I thought stuff like that happening on the trains was a thing of the past. Apparently not. Like I said, I've seen some crazy shit, but I ain't never seen nobody get raped. And people stand around. You see something like that that's disturbing. People would have got off the train. People would have. So I just really do not believe that that's a mind control trick. I do not believe. And there are a lot of horrible ass people out here, but I do not believe that people sat there and nobody did anything. I find that very hard to believe. And like I said, I have been underground. I have seen a lot of crazy shit. I've seen fights. I've seen people smoking crack. I've seen people get robbed, shootouts, you name it. I even got into it with a nigga on the fucking train years ago. And what I know is that when you're a woman and there is no other women around, be careful. The only way I can see that happen is if she was the only woman on that train. If there were men and women on that train, I find it hard to believe. But if there were women, if she wasn't the only woman on that train, I find it hard to believe. I find that hard to believe. If it was she was the only woman, maybe, because men will do that. And this isn't something else that women need to understand. Everybody is not your brother. Everybody is not your uncle. Everybody is not your cousin. It's a lot of weird ass men out here, and a lot of them work for SEPTA. And that's something that needs to be addressed. It's a lot of mentally ill niggas driving these buses and driving these trains. And I've seen them do real weirdo slime ball shit, like making elderly women run for the bus and still leave them behind and think the shit is funny. Shit that I've witnessed with my own two fucking eyes. These niggas, trying to talk to girls that they know is underage. It's a whole bunch of issues going around when it comes to these fucking septic niggas. Like, come on. But y'all ain't ready to have that conversation. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation. Anyway, I want to move on from that. If you were in your feelings about that situation, I want to encourage you to maybe change up your routine if that really disturbed you. And it is possible for you to take public transportation and you care enough and you're the type of woman, and when this happened you were talking and saying how you would have did this and you would have did that, and you really care about women and children, I encourage you to maybe switch up your routine and start taking public transportation so you can really see what's going on. And so you can be one of the people, if you were really the type of person when you would have done something, I encourage you to ride public transportation. And if you don't want to do that, start writing letters and try to schedule meetings with people, hold people accountable, do something. But don't just be fake shock. Contact your local media, ask questions, apply pressure. Get other people like you, other women like you, and start putting pressure on these male-dominated organizations. And SEPTA is a male-dominated organization. There's no reason why a woman should have been sexually assaulted on a train with cameras everywhere. SEPTA cameras. Forget somebody needing to film it. There's SEPTA cameras all over those train cars, front and back. That's what you need to start, instead of being in your feelings that the shit fucking happened. The shit been happening. Get in your feelings about why it keeps happening and do something. Anyway, that's another reason why I waited a minute to talk about it, because like I said, I have been on public transportation my whole fucking life. My whole life. And I remember, as a little girl being on the subway with my mom, and men feeling like they could, grab her ass, or, just horrible shit. Horrible shit. Should have been real on these fucking subways. And again, everybody's, go-to response is to run. I'm glad I don't take public transportation. I drive. Everybody shouldn't have to have a car and be on the road. Everybody should not have to have. Can you imagine what the pollution and what traffic would be like if every single person in the city had a car? Use your logic and your common sense. Stop making it seem like public transportation is just something for poor people. It's not. There are people that make a lot of money every year and still get on the train. That's really like a Philly thing. People always make it seem like the train and the buses is like, oh my God, it's the most horrible thing you can do. But anyway, how long have I been on here? Close to an hour. I don't know. Like I said, those were the vibes that I wanted to tap into. Like I said, I don't. That story is weird, and everything they're saying is weird. Like I said, these are the stories that I think like something's not adding up for me. for all everything that I've mentioned. Like, it's not adding up. And they're, like I said, those are my vibes. Maybe the next time I go live, I have more information. We've done a little bit more research as to why it ain't adding up. And if when and if I do, I will. And like I said, I'm sorry, guys, that I'm not. On one of these days, I am going to start having lives focused on doing readings. But a lot of times when I'm doing these lives, like I'm going back and forth. Like, I just got back when I started this one, I had just gotten in the house and I hadn't even had a chance to like change out of my clothes or anything like that. I hadn't had anything to eat. And I'm sitting here eating fries and trying to, talk at the same time. So bear with me as I try to find a place in my schedule to um uh do these readings, these live readings. Um yeah. Like I said, I'm working on it. And when I do, can you guys do me a favor and, like I said, have more questions than, is my ex coming back to me, or does this person really love me? Because I'm gonna want to address that. I'm gonna want to talk to you guys about that. You know, I don't know. I find that annoying. But like I said, I'm thinking of Saturdays. But like I said, we shall see. We shall see. Um, like I said, I'm not gonna be. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to find time on the schedule, but I'm still going to be doing these too. Even when I do the live readings, I'm still going to do these vibes, the live vibes. But I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. Like I said, I really have to let the spirit lead when it comes to that. And I definitely like being in a certain frame of mind and having the house quiet, um, and zero interruptions. So, like I said, I'm trying. Bear with me. Um, yeah, I am going to finish cleaning. I needed to do laundry. I had so many things. Like Sunday is my day. If you grew up like me, you woke up hearing classic R&B. Sunday was the day to clean and all of that. So I try to get some of it done, but it's that time of year where the sun, you start losing the sunlight earlier. But also it's October, like, it's October. And for you baby witches and you occultists out here, let me know what you're doing. What are your spiritual practices for the month of October and November are deeply spiritual months. So, before we get into, getting excited for holiday time, like, understand that holiday equals spiritual. And so, you know, these are, good months to um, direct your energy and focus on um, your ancestors and, that kind of thing. And that's what I'm trying to get into the swing of, like, but I'll talk more about that at another time. I'm just rambling at this point. But thank you guys for being a part of this live. And like I said, the next time, like I said, I'm really working on setting aside a time to do these live readings. And so I don't like to plan it and be like, well, every Monday. And I really like to. I really need to follow the spirit when I'm doing that. So stay tuned. Keep following me, so that way you can catch me. And yeah, thank you guys. I will see y'all at the next live. Peace.